Let's move on now to an update about America's criminal justice system. This weekend, the country marked 1 year since police in Louisville, Kentucky killed Breonna Taylor. And while there is still much more work to be done, the police have been willing to make at least one change.
It could soon become a crime to taunt police officers in Kentucky. The AP reports Kentucky lawmakers passed the proposal through the state Senate this week. The bill says anyone who taunts, insults, or challenges a law enforcement officer would be guilty of a misdemeanor and would face up to 90 days in jail plus fines.
That's right, 90 days for insulting a police officer. So whatever you do, don't say to a cop, "Wow, I thought strippers would be in better shape," or "Nice riot gear and face shield. You look like if a G.I. Joe had sex with a Chipotle sneeze guard." And whatever you do, do not try and tell Kentucky police any knock-knock jokes. You know they don't like knocking. Look, understandably, people are pretty angry about this. But just put yourself in the position of a police officer in Kentucky. Huh? You're just doing your job, breaking into someone's home and shooting them in bed, and then that person calls you a jerk? It's like, hey, buddy, I've got feelings too. But obviously there are a lot of problems with this law. I mean, first of all, any protest against police could land peaceful protesters in jail. And secondly, if you're married to a cop, you basically have to let them win every single argument. Plus, you know that now cops are going to try to get people to taunt them just to meet their arrest quotas. "Hey, what are you looking at? You see anything funny? Huh? No. You sure? Huh?" Now, of course, it isn't just the United States where there are tensions between communities and the police, as we are seeing in Great Britain, where women are up in arms.
There is growing outrage and concern about women's safety in Britain after the killing of a woman.
33-year-old London resident Sarah Everard was kidnapped and murdered while walking home earlier this month.
The suspect in connection with Sarah Everard's kidnap and her death was actually a serving member of the Metropolitan Police Force.
There was a vigil on the weekend. Even Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, made a private visit to lay flowers. But later on Saturday night, the police tried to break up the crowd. The vigil was against lockdown rules, but their heavy-handed tactics and these images have horrified the nation and helped fuel more protests last night.
Sexist police on our streets!
Sexist police off our streets, they shouted.
Okay, what are these cops thinking? Getting violent at a vigil over an officer murdering this woman? The only way those cops could have been more tone deaf is if they had mansplained the protest chants back to the women. You can't be going around breaking up a vigil. A vigil is by definition the most peaceful of all gatherings. No one ever says, "Yo man, you gotta come through, this vigil is about to be wild." I swear, the police could avoid so many headaches if they just hired one person whose only job is to ask, "Is this something the good guys would do?" That way, when the police chief says, "Okay, tonight we're going to go to a peaceful vigil and tackle women," then that person can raise their hand, ask their one question, "Is this something the good guys would do?" And we can avoid this entire situation. And part of the reason people were protesting in the first place is that after Sarah Everard disappeared, police went door to door, telling women to stay home for their own safety, which led many people to wonder, why don't the police tell the men to stay home, since they're the ones going around murdering people? But instead, they're telling women, "Listen, lady, there's men on these streets, so you better stay home, yeah? Although there could be men in your home too, so you can't stay there either. Tell you what, just hover in the air about 10 feet off the ground, and that should keep you safe until we decide to do our jobs, love."